What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today when I talk to you on Polestar, I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what just came out from Polestar itself, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off, Polestar is slightly green, 0.45%. Market's been open about 30 minutes. 547.65 thousand shares have been traded. 3.24 million is the average. So today is going to be a very heavy volume day, and for it being a Friday, very abnormal. PCE numbers just came out, better than anticipated, so potentially the market might interpret that as interest rates being cut sooner rather than later. So we'll just have to wait and see as far as that. But even if you look over the last little bit for Polestar, it has held its gains fairly well. And once I go over the technicals, it'll kind of match that as well. But Polestar has been doing fairly well, especially considering the news that just came out today and yesterday, Tesla unveiling the earnings, giving very iffy future guidance. And of course, Polestar and Tesla are the only two pure global EV plays. And so for something to happen to Tesla and it not really affect Polestar all that much, I feel like Polestar is at a pretty good substantial discount. So that's just my own interpretation, of course. Today there has been no official news from Polestar, no SEC filings. Rather, this came out. So electric car maker Polestar to cut around 450 jobs globally. And so in reality, I think that's kind of a good thing. Any company looking within to cut any unnecessary expenses is key. When it comes down to Polestar, though, they did do a pretty substantial layoff mid-2023. So the fact that they're doing kind of back-to-back layoffs isn't necessarily the best in my opinion, but then again, it's kind of them striving towards profitability that just needs to be done. So the market seems to be mixed on this, so not really driving it higher. It's just, it is what it is right now. But overall, though, one thing that did come out yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, and it didn't really affect Polestar, was this. So there was a new analyst rating, and it was a sell rating from Barclays. Dan Levy, who does have a 45% success rating, gave a $2 price target. So you kind of had back-to-back bad ratings for Polestar. So $1.15. I don't know where they got $1.15 from, but Bernstein did initiate coverage, and that was done 3 days ago. Daniel does have a 47% success rating. So overall, analysts are coming out a little bit more openly for Polestar in a negative way, but seems like the market doesn't care about these two analysts. And this, hands down, does show that Polestar is at a good discount. And I know I've already said that, but it is very true, because if any analyst gave a very negative rating, so potentially cutting about 50% from these prices right now. So if any analyst came out and said Tesla's a $80 price stock, or $80 or $90 right now, and then Lucid's maybe $1, like those stocks would just plummet. And what happened with Polestar? It kind of stabilized. It stayed where it was. So in reality, I think that's kind of a good thing. And plus, there's a lot of EV demand. I've brought this up in the past. This is the latest data. So coming from Europe, or I guess starting off with China, sales on a year-over-year basis as of November 2023 are up 39%. So China's doing good. Europe is down slightly. So that might be a byproduct of why maybe Polestar missed on their 2023 targets, potentially. So Europe did go down 2%. That was very abnormal though. But aside from that, the States is up 30.6%. And this is why Polestar is really striving to enter into that market. And the sooner they can get that facility up and running, then they enter the market. That way they don't have to get hit with so many tariffs. So most likely that's going to be something that they do reiterate in their upcoming earnings as well. And over and above that, I'll give you a quick overview of shorts and everything else. So right now, shorts are increasing about 9.17 thousand shares. So a drop in the bucket considering 26.44 million shares overall are being shorted. 10.77% of the free float's being shorted, but cost to borrow average is 242.11%. Utilization is 98.8%. And short score is 93.59. Looking right here through Interactive Broker, short availability does indicate around 80,000 shares is available. So in the past, I like to bring this up as a benchmark. Obviously, it's good to see what the individuals that are betting that's going to go down, what they're doing. But this, as of right now, based on all the data points, if someone hid the name Polestar and showed me this data, I would say that this does have a good chance of a squeeze if the company can put out some good substantial news, because there is 4 things that you do need for a good squeeze. High utilization, a lot of shares being shorted, a high cost to borrow, but the 4th one a lot of companies do neglect, and that is just a surprise catalyst. So if Polestar comes out, maybe about early advancement of production or maybe better anticipated sales out of China, then you never know. Definitely that could cause a nice squeeze. So it's something to stay tuned on. Aside from that, looking at options, obviously take that with a grain of salt because the market's been open about half an hour or something like that. $1,500 in calls being purchased versus 528 in puts. Sentiment wise, 54% of all the options being done today are optimistic. Of the call options that are being purchased, looking at the open interest, it is anticipated for it to be above $3, and looking at puts, it's anticipated for it to be sub 2. And so overall though, the technicals are looking fairly good. So right now with that $2.24, it's trading between this R2 and this R3, which in comparison to a lot of other growth stocks and EV stocks is absolutely phenomenal. So $2.18 is going to be that next strong support that you'll want to watch for Polestar to hold. Vice versa, $2.35 is going to be that next strong resistance that you'll want to watch for Polestar to kind of break above. So all in all, I think Polestar is doing absolutely phenomenal. My last video on Polestar, I think around a week ago, I did say that all the data pointed to for it to go up. And exactly it did that. So I feel like Polestar is getting more and more attention from value investors because like I said, I've pointed this out time and time again. If you're looking at the PS ratio, like Polestar is substantially cheaper. And just to give you a good overview of what I mean by that. So right now I do have Rivian conveniently. So the PS ratio for Rivian is 3.8. Let's just pull up Polestar. So you can click on Polestar down to multiples. So the multiple for PS is 1.7. That is insane. And even if you do compare it to Tesla, Lucid, many others out there, Polestar is substantially cheaper, probably one of the cheapest, most discounted EVs out there. So I feel like given the market structure right now, how it is, a lot of analysts and just institutions are looking for value plays. So this is probably why Polestar has been able to hold its gains over the last little bit. And plus this news that just came out about them laying off about 450 staff right here, I feel like that's kind of a good thing. Of course, there could be some underlying red flags due to that, but overall though, I think that this is a very good thing. The fact that Polestar is looking inwards to cut unnecessary expenses to strive to profitability. So let me know your thoughts on Polestar. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for an account with Moonwith for $100 at it and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.